I didn't think you were coming back.
I never should have left. You think you have all the time in the world. I just wasn't present enough. I didn't soak it all in.
Thinks you were living.
Hey.
Hey.
You think that's okay, spending the afternoon with my husband?
Do you think it's okay telling the cops about Dad?
I've let Jesus into my life. Jesus has so...
Every time you say Jesus, I'm going to skull beer.
The only reason you're back is because you failed at your relationship and you're broke.
There are animals that when they get scared, they fight harder, they run faster. Some, they just freeze.
Having travelled the world's festival circuit, Kangaroo Island is in cinemas August 21 around Australia. It is the work of director Timothy David and writer Sally Gifford, who have very kindly joined us here on Screen Space. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Hi, Simon.
What's the correlation between the real world Kangaroo Island and the movie setting Kangaroo Island? What does the place mean to you? And why was it right for the setting for this film?
Great question.
You want to take that one?
Sure. You can fix me when I go broken. So the film was originally called Animal, and it was Sally's script, her exploration of the human being as an animal. And Kangaroo Island was very well suited to this theme. One, we love the place, but also when you're on Kangaroo Island, you're aware that you're in a land with other animals. It's often referred to as a zoo without fences. There's very, very little development there. It's a very expensive place to get to as well. So nature is everywhere and man-made development is not. And it really makes you aware of your existence on Earth as an animal amongst other animals. And her script is about, you should talk to that.
Yeah, so it's about how it's easy to forget that humans are animals too. And we seem to be meaning-seeking animals. And we may never have the answer to why are we here, what's it all about, which is obviously paradoxical. Meaning-seeking animals, never finding the answer. And how do we deal with that, when we have to deal with tragedy? And the film explores, we deal with that through our family, our chosen family, through laughter and that sort of thing.
And that's how we survive. I think also because it's that type of place, I'm not sure if you've been there, but there's a lot of roadkill. So when you see all this roadkill, you're very much aware of life just going in the blink of an eye. So to explore themes of life and death and cherishing family and all that kind of stuff on this island made a lot of sense. And it was also, we had to, it's an expensive place to shoot because there's no infrastructure. So if you break a camera, you've got to go and find a new one, and that'll take a day, which will cost you $100,000 when you're shooting 23 days and 100 scenes. So I ordered 2 cameras, and then I thought, well, let's use 2 cameras because we've got a lot to shoot. And then it was almost as soon as we landed, we had to shoot a scene, and it was only a 5-second vignette of the characters laughing towards the end of Rory's journey. And they're having a drink, and it took 5 hours, and it was for a 3-second shot. And I'm just like, I am not with my crew in New York anymore. I am with people that do not understand me, do not.
Yeah, having your own little water world moment. That's it.
Yeah. So then I just engaged this new vision of the film, or modified vision of the film, where I was going to go heavily into a documentary style, where we shoot two cameras and try and capture the actors doing what they normally do without blocking, without saying, "Oh, let's put this over here," without tweaking the background lighting generally. So we didn't focus on the lighting because I had beautiful lenses, so we wouldn't have to. So
Wow.
we could tell the lighting guy, back off. There's going to be a silhouette. Don't care. It's about the emotion. And I had to get quite forceful with everyone and just say, this is about because the film would work if the emotion that was in the script came through the film. That was only going to happen if the actors were incredibly authentic. That would happen if we let them do whatever they would naturally do, and we just filmed from two cameras to make sure we got everything without crossing over, and we just let them be and live and breathe the scene. And by doing that, and doing that approach, we instantly hit a rhythm and a groove that was working really nicely for the style of the film that it was.
Well, that's interesting because I'll jump ahead in my questions here. I was going to ask about how did you gel this amazing cast into the family unit? Like, who was cast first? Was there a long rehearsal period? Was there some sort of family boot camp type thing at all?
No.
I wish with low budget films, there's not much time for rehearsal.
I would have done that in a heartbeat, like absolutely. But I'm an unknown director, right? So, and it's low budget, so you can't expect much from these actors who are from America. Two of them, the two lead girls. But Rebecca was our first pick. So we wrote a letter to say, we think there's a beautiful film here and it's a good film for you for these reasons. This is Tim's reel. And she got back to us within 3 days, which was a miracle in Hollywood. But the reality was, my business partner there, Daniel, was a film producer of some major blockbusters. He reached out to her manager, who he knew, and he said, you should take a look at this. It's a good one. There's no money, but it's a good script. And so Rebecca, honored her agent by starting the first 3 pages while she was on holiday driving through Big Sur with her husband on her phone. And she said she just couldn't put it down once she started reading. So
I get it.
once we had her, the rest fell into place. We had probably 2 days of rehearsal, I think.
Wow.
But they were so, I mean, I have conversations with them beforehand. So yeah, in a boardroom. Rebecca and I were probably chatting once a week for about a couple of months beforehand. I had a little bit of time with Adelaide, but everyone got on board with the style and we all clicked very early on. My brief was basically, do not treat this like an Australian film, treat it like an international film. This is a film about life. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. And Sally, I'll come to you on this. As they say in the business, there's no fat on this script. Every line of dialogue is very meaningful and every plot beat sort of builds the drama and the tension. And I was trying to think of the movie it reminded me of, and in some ways it's a James L. Brooks type script, like in terms of endearment. And I'm wondering what sort of mood board for this film did you have? What were the movies or books that are in the DNA here?
Amazing question.
That is a huge compliment that you said that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to lean into sentimentality. I wanted to lean into relationships being what was interesting on screen, interpersonal dynamics. I didn't want to just do something that was cool. I wanted it to be genuine. And I guess because I'm someone who questions all the time, what is the meaning of life? What is it all about? I wanted to create a piece of art that reflected that question, that line of questioning. And so I decided it would be interesting to have 2 sisters be foils for one another. They've both been through something terrible that would make anyone think, life's a joke. And one turns to God because she needs answers to all her questions. And one turns directly away from God and decides, life has no meaning and becomes kind of hedonistic. So I started with those 2 sisters being foils, and then it kind of grew from there.
Yeah. Neither of them could handle life, the worst trauma that was thrown at them. And we're also careful in the film not to show the trauma. So it's 10 years of life. So, you can look at the film is super tight, like you said, and people are going, there's a lot of story in there. Yeah. But it's actually 10 years of story compressed into a moment where the drama that took place in that long amount of time has to be confronted in a short amount of time. And that's why it's thick. And I'm glad you noticed that too, because it was so hard to cut a trailer for it, because whenever you put in a line, it would either give away too much or wouldn't do justice to the rest of the film,
Yeah.
right? Because there's a bit of a romance in there. There's a father-daughter relationship. There's feuding sisters. But combined with the 10-year history that that family had, there's a really beautiful film there. And yeah, every line, I even went back to try and cut it from 145 minutes to, I was trying to get it to like an hour and 45 to an hour and 20. And we couldn't, because anytime you took away a scene or a small sentence, you lost something.
I think
It just falls apart, yeah.
by the time you hit middle age, the reality is, for most of us, not all of us, but for most of us, we have collected trauma and wounds, and geez, it's like we just have to keep going, you know.
Sure.
Find a way not to go crazy, and
you got to laugh at it.
And you've got to laugh, and that's why there's so much laughter in the film as well.
Yeah, this idea that life is a joke is a thread throughout.
I want to come back to the discussion on faith, because that was the real point of difference for me in this film, the debate over faith and the role it plays in a real world situation like the ones the characters face here. Despite her born again status, Freya, and Adelaide Clemens is just wonderful in this.
Yeah.
Isn't she?
In many regards, to me, she's the villain in this film, but for others, she may not be.
Mm-hmm.
Discuss. I just realized that wasn't a question, but I thought I'd throw that out.
I'd like I'm the kind of person, I tend to see very few people as villains. You know, I think humans are flawed and we do the best we can. And these are two girls that have been through terrible things and who have made mistakes. But I think, you know, there is hope for people always. And I'm interested in characters who are flawed anyway. And I don't like binary films where like, this is the good guy, this is the bad guy. And so I just wanted to write someone who felt really real and rounded and human and complex.
And also, as a villain, there's two sisters, right? One sister, Lou, comes across like an arsehole. She's hating on this sister. Almost immediately, the sister is engaging her, embracing her. So the one that you class as a villain is the one being so nice and trying to give her support and trying to help her find another answer, you know, to her life. And then, yeah, what's nice about them is by the time the film's ended, the other one that you could class as a villain, you know, Lou, comes around and finally throws the other sister a bone, and then the other sister has finally just let go. So it is a story of villains in that we're all villains under certain circumstances.
Right.
I know exactly what you're saying, and maybe villain was the wrong word to use, but you're exactly right. And the complexity of what they're going through is summed up, and we're not going to give it away here, of course, but the two final lines of dialogue in the film on the boat, when, you know, there's a shift of perspective, let's say. It was a great way to end the film.
Yeah, I couldn't wait. When I read the script, I just went and cut to black, which wasn't in the script. It was and then they swim and, you know, that kind of stuff. And I went, after that last line, boom. And I think I got Adelaide to do it, the poor thing, about 100 times before I was happy with that. It was a beautiful thing to read in a script when you've come that far and you just have such a beautiful, nice last line. I don't know, but you should talk about it.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back to your point about religion as well. It's like someone said to me, I think it was a set decorator, she said, "Oh, you can't mention God in Australia in a film." And I get it. And I don't want to watch a roly-poly film either, you know, that beats you over the head with religion. And some people will have a big reaction to that. But like, I think honestly, if we're honest and we zoom out, like from a macro place, like religion is a big part of being human. Whether you believe in it or not, it's still there. It's a part of your life. So, like, let's go there and let's have fun with examining it from all different sides.
I think that's a great. I think you bring an intelligence to the discussion about religion and a very human perspective to the discussion about religion that takes it out of a theological sort of diatribe or whatever you want to call it. So I think that's where it succeeds.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. We do have really religious friends. Like you can have these debates with people. It's a privilege to be able to debate these things.
Yeah, exactly right. As the expert on all things Kangaroo Island, it's the third biggest island in Australia. Can you name the other two?
It's Tasmania.
Tasmania is good. You got that one.
Is it in Queensland? It's not Fraser Island, is it?
No, it is not.
Oh, it's off Darwin? It's off Darwin, isn't it?
Darwin's a city on the mainland.
No, it's off Darwin. It's off the land of the Northern Territory, isn't it?
Well, it's Melville Island,
Where is it?
I don't know. I didn't do that much research. I had to watch your movie. Listen, it's lovely talking to you. You've made a wonderful film. As I mentioned, it's in cinemas August 21. It's so wonderful to see an Australian film that has such a naturalistic sort of tone, very contemporary tone to it, and tells this beautiful, heartfelt story as well. So congratulations to both of you, Tim David and Sally Gifford. It's lovely talking to you.
Thanks, Simon. You too.
Thank you. Appreciate it.